Welcome back, everybody. My name is Vex, and today we are watching a video titled The Only Streamer That Cares. This is a video about Joe Bartolozzi. If you don't know who Joe Bart is, he's a big YouTuber slash Twitch streamer, does a lot of reaction videos, plays games, and also has a philosophy channel. He's one of my favorite content creators in the entire space. So if you guys haven't checked him out, please do. He is absolutely amazing. Without further ado, let's jump right into this video.
You know what the most important part of any live stream is? The chat. Every night, thousands of viewers pour into their favorite streamer's chat. Chat. Together, they decide what games get played, what videos get watched, and the streamers who keep them entertained get paid. It sounds pretty easy, right? Just give the chat what it wants. The problem is, chat never wants just one thing. There's thousands of people all asking for something different, and no matter what you do, someone's unhappy. The biggest streamers learn to follow the majority and keep the party moving, because stopping everything for one unhappy viewer is the cardinal sin of streaming. You don't leave 10,000 people hanging over a single name in the chat. But what happens when the needs of the one are a matter of life and death?
My girlfriend of 3 years took her own life in November of 2025. Losing my best friend and the person I love most in the world. I'm feeling like my life is no longer worth living, and I've been falling into a bad habit of drug addiction, leading me to on MDMA in December. I don't want to be here anymore.
This is Joe Bartolozzi, and he's one of the only streamers that stops everything when someone needs help.
I'm already going to pause the video. So sorry, guys. But that is something about Joe Bart that has always... Excuse me. It's always something that's been very impressive about him to me, is that what he's saying there is true. If someone comes in and says that they need help, or they need advice or whatever, he's always readily available to give that person help, and I commend him for that. Like he shows his fans and his chat that he does truly care about them and their well-being, and that's one thing that I want to mimic. I will say mimic, that Joe does, that I want to do, is no matter how many fans that I have, whether I stay small the way that I am, having a couple hundred views on YouTube, maybe one or two comments, to, if I end up getting, hundreds of thousands of views, with hundreds of comments, and on Twitch, and everything else. If someone were to reach out to me and tell me that they weren't doing well, I want to show them that there are people in this world that care, and that I'm one of those people, and that they can reach out to me, and I will do my best to help them. So, and that's always one thing about Joe Bartolozzi that I've always really liked about him, is that he cares about his chat more than I think most streamers slash content creators do.
If a chatter of mine is coming into my chat saying they're suicidal, I am first and foremost going to read their message.
But when you do this, when you make yourself the person people turn to at their lowest, you're also now the one who has to carry the weight of it. Because now you're surrounded by darkness.
Today I decided to end everything. Got a shotgun, can't find it in me to love myself.
Now you're giving away pieces of yourself to everyone around you.
People are genuinely asking me to fix their problems. I can't.
Now it feels like the whole world is on your shoulders.
Now I'm going, oh, if I stop posting, people are going to start themselves.
That's a heavy weight to...
It does come to that point, because people a lot of the time turn to their favorite content creators as a means of, for dopamine, and like whenever things are bad, they turn to their favorite content creators to, escape, and I'll say that I'm guilty of that. When I've really struggled, I turn to my favorite content creators, and their content for a good laugh, just a brief moment to escape from the world around me. But I don't think, and I think that that's a very special thing that a person, that a content creator can do, is provide that kind of space for somebody. But it should never get to a point where your content is the only reason that someone's alive. And if you stop posting, that means that people are going to themselves, it should never get to that point, and you should never, no one person should ever have to carry that burden, because carrying the well-being of thousands of people, like Joe Bartolozzi has. He does crazy numbers on Twitch. Carrying that burden all by yourself is not good for anybody, especially him. And and I hope that he's figured out a way to control that and to combat that feeling that he has to be there, because he doesn't have to be. I mean, it's awesome that he is, but he doesn't need to be. These people do need to find help, and Joe can't be the only person to help them. They have to find other avenues of getting help.
Pick up, and we wanted to know why.
Who is Joe Bartolozzi, and why do you care so deeply about some of the things that you do? Which is maybe a little deep for 10:30 in the morning, but
No, it's all right.
Joe Bartolozzi was born on February 6th, 2002, and grew up in southern New
Damn. I didn't realize he was born in 2002. He's 2 years younger than I am. I was born in December of 2000. That's crazy. I thought he was a little closer to me. I thought he was either around the same. I thought he was the same age or maybe like a year younger. I didn't know he was 2 years younger than me. That's cool though.
Jersey. Joe wasn't the kid you have picked to become famous online. He was the small, quiet kid, the one getting picked last for everything.
I was kind of like the lanky kid that didn't really know how to control his body, so that's why I was picked last.
But by high school, things started turning around. He hit his growth spurt, got into lifting, and went from being the kid nobody picked to a legitimate athlete. So by 2019,
I'm going to say this really quick. I'm sorry for pausing this video so much already. As someone who did track in high school and did hurdles, Joe was really good. That was really good for him. He's very, very humble about how good he was. He was very, very good. I was not at all.
Joe's a track athlete at a Catholic prep school in New Jersey, working part-time at a GNC, heading towards a completely normal life. And then a Chinese tech company bought a dying lip-syncing app.
TikTok is the latest app to capture the attention of teens and young adults across the world.
A Chinese company called ByteDance bought the relatively dead app Musical.ly. They gutted it, rebranded it, and on August 2nd, 2018, TikTok officially hit the App Store.
TikTok.
Now, early on, TikTok was mostly just the same creators who came over from Musical.ly. So all of those cringy lip-sync videos and the...
Oh, dude. Does anybody remember the early days of TikTok? Ugh. That was miserable content because it was just the cringy dances. I mean, not that TikTok's much better now. It's just a bunch of AI brain rot, but oof. Early days TikTok was rough.
Reputation that came with them carried straight over.
Going through your parents' divorce is more fun than going through TikTok.
For a while there, TikTok as a whole was pretty cringy.
Yeah,
I have divorced parents. I can attest to that.
used to get made fun of.
But even with that reputation, Joe figured he'd try it anyway. He posted his first TikTok in December of 2019, and it got a few hundred likes, which is nothing crazy, but it was enough to make him post another one, and another one, and he just kept going. Within a few months, he went from pointing at text on a screen to actually talking, ranting straight to the camera about whatever stupid thing pissed him off that day.
There's no looking left or right in the urinal at all times.
This is where Joe carved out his lane. He became the loud guy in the beanie who'd yell about people who drink sparkling water or crash out over some
Okay, but let's be honest. People who drink sparkling water and they say that they enjoy it are genuine sociopaths. Anybody who drinks just plain Jane sparkling water, I'm talking like the flavor stuff. Like that's okay. It's flavored. But drinking regular plain Jane sparkling water is like drinking TV static, and it's horrible. Get it away from me. It's a valid crash out, really.
DIY tutorial.
The coffee pot's floating!
By the time COVID hit, TikTok was becoming a mainstream platform. Suddenly, TikTokers were performing at NBA halftime shows or hanging with the Kardashians. I mean, the D'Amelios were dropping a reality show on Hulu. It was the biggest app in the world, and Joe had gotten in early.
6 months after you started posting, if I'm not mistaken, you had over 1 million followers on TikTok.
Damn, 6 months within posting, he hit 1 million? That's crazy. Good on him. Good on him.
2020 TikTok, you could literally post anything, and if it got any amount of views, half the people that saw it would follow you.
So now you've got a teenage guy, fresh out of high school, with millions of people watching his every move.
Dude, these fucking ads, they need to get out of my face.
But what do you think this does to a person?
It's not the same guys as like a Disney star, right? Because I was nowhere near that level. But it's just the idea of like, I was a teenager that's getting clout, and I think 99% of the time, that's bad.
And Joe was no exception.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with Joe. I think that when you give, I mean, really anybody, but especially someone who is a teenager, whose brain is still developing, you give them a huge amount of attention and success in something, it's going to go to their head. It's going to. Even if they don't come out being like a total asshole, or anything like that, like it's going to go to their head to some degree, and they're going to have an ego about it. Maybe not forever, but at least for a little bit, they're going to be egotistical. It's just how it is.
All of those views, all that attention that comes with internet fame, it went straight to his head.
I went from being a really insecure, it was like two polar opposites, right? And I had to find the medium. Like I used to be really insecure when I was in like middle school, or early high school, to a point where like I started working out, I started doing this, and then it went like full flop to like narcissism. And so it was like an obsession with myself because of insecurity that then inflated my ego to the point where I'm like, oh, I'm awesome.
And you can see it in the content from that era. The captions, the attitude, the way that he carried himself.
So this is my proposal for any women out there that would like to participate in the holiday but don't have anybody to assist them. I'm here.
That's a crazy post, Joe. Crazy post, buddy.
This is the version of Joe that Joe doesn't like.
That person in that facade I had to do to create that character actually became me for a short period of time, and I hated it.
But as much as Joe hates this version of himself, he also kind of owes everything to him. Because that ego is what gave him the confidence and drive to start making bigger swings in his career. And when you're building yourself from the ground up, those two things can be the difference between success and failure. You see, everyone wants to start their own thing until they realize how much work starting actually takes. Building your website, setting up payments, all the boring stuff. Most people don't quit because the idea was bad. They quit because the setup got in the way. That's where WAP comes in.
Yeah, I knew this was an ad.
And the only thing stopping you is not knowing where to start. Head on over to just starting to build. But now back where to start. Head on over to WAP.com today.
I knew it was an ad.
But now back to Joe and the business he was just starting to build. It started with diversifying his audience, because unlike YouTube or Twitch, your follower count is kind of empty on TikTok. You can have 1 million followers on there and make no money, because the platform simply doesn't pay its creators anything worthwhile.
Like I was probably making like what, 10K a year. I was making less than minimum wage.
So in the summer of 2020, just before starting his freshman year of college, Joe announced his first ever Twitch stream.
I'm gonna start streaming video games on Twitch in a day or two.
He started moving viewers from TikTok to Twitch, where he'd stream games like Rocket League and Fall Guys.
Oh, I got it!
Then he'd take the best moments from those streams and post them to YouTube. By fall of that year, Joe was juggling multiple TikTok uploads a day, streaming on Twitch, making YouTube content, all while managing his classwork in college.
What was the schedule like in college? There's so much going on. How do you manage that?
It was a lot. Like, balancing streaming and college sucked. But it was so doable. And I hate when streamers say, oh, I really needed to drop out to pursue streaming. Like, get the out of here. I was growing and in college the entire time. Thank you for
I mean, I can't attest to the college thing, because I never went to college and I'm not currently in college. I do have a full-time job, so I mean, I guess I can kind of, because I have a full-time job while also trying to stream and do YouTube and stuff. But I think the thing that makes it a lot harder for me is that I'm also a dad, and not just a dad, but a single dad at that. And so trying to juggle my work life with my home life, that's very busy because I have a young child, and also wanting to be a streamer is very, very difficult for me, which is why I'm not the greatest about uploading and streaming and stuff. I am trying to be better, but it is difficult. I could definitely put more effort into it, and I do plan on doing so. Life has just been very, very hectic for me lately, and so things are just now starting to smooth back out. And so I do plan on posting and streaming more often.
3 million followers.
4 million followers.
By December, Joe had cleared 5 million followers on TikTok, and just a few months after his first stream, Joe was pulling in nearly 1,000 average viewers on Twitch.
Like, I was so obsessed with performance.
Joe was constantly studying social media, trying to understand what made videos pop, what people responded to, and why certain videos failed. That confidence had turned into a full-blown obsession. But because of it, Joe was starting to not like the person he saw in the mirror.
I'm trying to map out where the ego.
See, I do want to touch on that, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, super happy for Joe that he found the success that he's found, and so quickly. Like, that's awesome. That's me. I love hearing stories like that where someone finds success so quickly. But one thing that I think a lot of people do, and a lot of streamers especially, is they think that in order to become successful as a content creator, which, and when this is coming from a guy that has no big success in this field. I don't. I have 43 subs on YouTube. I have like 32 followers on Twitch. I average 1 viewer a stream. Okay, like, I don't have like a big following. I'm not a successful content creator, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. I enjoy just doing this because I enjoy doing this. But a lot of people, I believe, think that they have to create this persona that's not them, who's like this, just this psychopath, in order to be successful streaming. I don't think that that's, I mean, does it work? Yeah, and that's the problem, is that it does work. Now, for some people, like, not calling this guy a maniac, but like Speed, he's a very just crazy, flamboyant, very animated person. So, like, that works for him because that's who he is, you know. But then there's all these other content creators that, like, put on these fake personas, you know, because it gets them views. But then it's at a point that fake persona becomes who they are, and it always ends up biting them in the ass because people realize, oh, this isn't funny anymore. This person being an asshole, it was funny because it was just kind of a bit, but now it's not a bit. It's just who they are. And that's, you know, and that's why, like, I believe that you should just be who you are. That's what I plan on doing. I just want to be who I am. I mean, I'm not the funniest guy in the world, you know, but like, I think that I'm at least halfway funny. I get mad at things and I yell, you know, at games. I talk too much when doing reaction videos. That's just who I am, and I want people to watch me for who I am as a person, not for this fake persona that I make, which I'm not going to. I want every one of my fans, I don't know, that sounds wrong to say, all of my followers, my subscribers, to like me for who I am and the content that I make. You know, putting on a fake persona, I don't believe is right.
Ego kind of starts to disappear versus, like, was there a low point, a moment where you're like, holy shit, I gotta change?
Yeah, I don't really, I don't think there was like an aha, right? It wasn't like a light switch flip. It was more over the span of like a 6-month period where I was like, I'm kind of being a dickhead. Yeah. Coupled with a variety of things. So I don't know if you can include this in the video. That's up to you. I tripped on mushrooms for the first time, like, and I hate when people talk about like that being a genuine changing factor in their life, because it's like, okay, cornball, like, that's what made you, you know, really have that light switch. But I think it was like, it was a part of it, you know, like it removed the grooves of life that I have gotten into, and it made me reset to a point where I had to kind of look in myself. A lot of the people that I knew in philosophy classes as well were sharing ideas that, you know, I may have heard but not resonated or understood fully. It was so much like, wow, I'm gonna die one day. I should kind of treat people in a way that's like, this is our only life. And I accredit my viewers a lot, because in that time, parasocial relationships built a little bit, which is bad. But at the same time, there were people coming to me for the first time going, I want to kill myself. You are chatting to your...
Yeah, no, and I do think that the parasocialism that does come with YouTube and Twitch and stuff like that, I do think that it's a very unhealthy relationship that people give to their content creators of choice. I don't think that you should ever tie your complete emotional well-being to another person. And I think that that is in any circumstance, whether that is a relationship, a friendship, or like you being a fan of somebody's. You should never attach your emotional well-being to that person and try to live vicariously, or not even vicariously, but like imagine your life as that person's life, because it's just it becomes an unhealthy obsession. And I don't want that for anybody, because it can create a lot of problems for people, not just the content creators themselves, but also their fans that are living that way.
Your last streamer because you're ending it all. Whoa, 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 whoa. If there was a moment of like lock in, it was that. What happened? One of my subs just said he's gonna himself. Dude, do you need help? Because I was going, yeah, even though I'm 19, there are people that actually look up to me in a way that's like, I need to be better. Life is the best thing that will ever happen. No matter how bad it can get, life is amazing.
Now, put yourself in that chair for a second.
And he's right. Life is truly amazing. Life is a gift, and it should never be taken for granted. And this message goes out to everybody that sees this. It doesn't matter who you are. Life is special. You should always hold on to life, because no matter how hard it gets, or no matter how bad it gets, or how hopeless it seems, you can work through it, and you will be happier in the long. I've had my fair share of troubles in my life. I've dealt with things from my childhood all the way up until my adulthood. Things that are horrible that no person should ever have to deal with, and I've had to deal with them. And I'll be completely honest. I've had those thoughts of, man, maybe not being here anymore would make things better. But that's never the answer. Continuing to live is always the answer, and it should always be the answer. And to anyone who feels like they can't keep going, just reach out to me. I will do my best to respond to you and to help you in any way that I can. And I truly mean that. Enough of the sappiness. Let's get back to this video.
19 years old. You started streaming to play video games, to have fun and make people laugh, and somebody you've never met just told you they're planning their own death. And out of everyone in their life, they picked you to tell.
I feel like no one cares, and I want to end it all. I have a date planned, so you'll probably never see me again. I want to say you make me laugh a lot. I'm going to myself October 2nd. No one will remember me.
And this kept happening. Joe would go live, and sooner or later, somebody would show up in a genuine crisis, typing their darkest thoughts into a Twitch chat.
Don't want to be a mood killer. I just want to say my family basically bullies me every day, and I can't get them to stop. I've been thinking about suicide a lot.
When Joe first started getting these messages from chatters, his initial response was the same as anyone with the hearts would be. He wanted to help. Both on stream and off of it, Joe took the time to talk with those viewers, getting to know them on a personal level and giving them real advice just like you would with a friend.
You guys mean the world to me. If you need help with something like that, I can try my best. So that's why I'm kind of chilling or pausing the stream for the last 15 minutes to talk about this, because that's important.
But there's a harsh reality that all streamers have to learn eventually. Your viewers aren't your friends. They can't be.
I have had...
No, I mean, he's right. The viewers... Your viewers, no matter who you are, whether you're Joe Bartolozzi or Vex or Peso, Jinxie, PewDiePie, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, no matter who you are, your fans aren't your friends. They're your fans. They watch you because they enjoy you and because you make their life better. But you can't be friends with all of them. That's just not, it's just unfortunately that's not how it works. I can sit here and say that I do, all 43 of my YouTube subscribers, if you guys see this, I do care about every single one of you. You guys mean the absolute world to me. And the fact that you guys choose to come here and watch my videos means the absolute world to me. But he is right. In a way, you aren't friends with your viewers, but it doesn't mean that you can't care about them.
Probably 20 people come to me about themselves, like on live. The first 2 times it's happened, I have tried to like help them, and then it just ended badly in terms of them getting parasocial towards me and then nonstop coming to me.
You see, the relationship between a streamer and a viewer is way more complicated than a normal friendship. When you spend hours watching someone through a screen, day after day, your brain starts doing something weird. You pick up their sense of humor, you learn their opinions, their moods, what makes them laugh and what sets them off. You come to know them the way you'd know a friend, except they have no idea you even exist. This is what's called
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about.
the parasocial relationship, and it can be a dangerous thing.
Now a scary home invasion as 3 masked intruders with guns grab a popular influencer by the hair demanding money.
3 guys came into my room, turned all the lights on, and then they had the gun pointed at me.
See, and that's what I mean by the parasocialism and why it's not healthy. It's not healthy in the slightest. And it's unfortunate that a lot of people believe that because they're watching you, whether it's on YouTube or Twitch, and they're giving you their attention and sometimes their money, they believe that they are entitled to your attention at all times. And that's just not how it works. As a content creator, we have to divert our attention to a lot of different things, whether it's the video you're watching, the game that you're playing at the time, the possibly hundreds, if not thousands of people, that are watching as well and also trying to speak. No one person is entitled to an answer every single time, but some people don't think that way. And they think that because they're there and they're doing what they're doing, that they're entitled to an answer, or like a halfway intimate relationship with you because they're there. And that's just not how that works.
While most parasocial relationships don't reach this level, there's always a possibility that it can.
3 popular Twitch streamers face a terrifying encounter while live streaming along the Santa Monica Pier.
I'll kill you right now. I'll kill you right now. If the streamer leans too far one way, they might come across as uninterested or cold, but lean too far the other, and viewers can mistake an occasional reply for friendship.
Please stop following me. It's getting weird. It's getting strange. I don't know you, okay? So please leave me alone.
That's where things can take a turn for the worse.
See, and I'm sorry that I'm already pausing this again. That stuff is the reason why I don't know if I will ever do an IRL stream or anything like that, because that stuff happens way more than you think it does. And it's scary that it does. That people will literally just sit there and they will follow you for like hours. Like I've seen a lot of videos on that stuff. It's terrifying. It's horrible. It should never happen, but it unfortunately does. And that's why I'm not for sure if I will ever IRL stream. I can almost guarantee you I won't.
Because now that attention can turn into expectation. And when the expectation of a response to the next chat isn't met, it can feel less like being ignored by a streamer and more like a betrayal by someone that they thought they knew.
It's a weird parasocial relationship that forms, and you're not even aware that this person is forming that typically until they're like about to show up, or they do show up.
The gap is hard to manage, which is why most streamers keep a barrier up around.
If anybody hasn't seen this video right here, the I Am Not Your Friend video by Ludwig, honestly, go give it a watch. It's actually a very good video to help people develop boundaries with their favorite content creators, streamers, YouTubers, whatever. It's a very good. It's a little harsh. That's how Ludwig is. Luddy's he's very honest, but it's a very good video. Please go give it a watch.
The heavy personal stuff.
My sis is dead.
Right, let's try and keep it positive.
Please don't talk about side of my chat, please. It's just something I just don't like to hear or talk about,
And you can't really blame them. At the end of the day, streamers are supposed to entertain. At some point, there has to be a boundary between caring about the people watching and becoming responsible for everything that they bring into the chat.
They become too attached to you, where they see you as an actual friend that they have. So I feel like that is kind of a boundary that you have to set as a streamer. But it's hard to gauge where that line is.
Joe had every reason to draw that same boundary. He'd answered the heavy messages, taken conversations off stream, and learned what could happen when things become too parasocial.
The first 2 times I helped somebody with like issues, they just kept messaging me, and then they like got upset when I stopped messaging them. So it's more so of that issue.
But mental health meant too much to him. Ignoring somebody who might not make it through the night was never a choice he could live with. After those early mistakes, Joe implemented 2 important factors that would eliminate those odd parasocial dynamics from coming into the picture. For starters, he removed any one-on-one interaction. All conversations with chatters were strictly held on stream from the Twitch chat.
I've prepared to go, tired of waiting for things to improve. You are my escape. Thank you, dude. If you're saying you're gonna kill yourself, don't. I know this was 10 minutes ago. I hope you're still here.
And second, but most importantly, he made the pivot from trying to be the help himself and became the middleman.
Fine if you're depressed and you want to come to me for advice, but when it comes to the gravity of seeking an expert is better than seeking Joe Bartolozzi, a Twitch streamer, TikToker. You know what I mean?
For those,
and he's absolutely right. I mean, no Twitch streamer, YouTuber, we're not therapists. I mean, unless I think I'm almost positive there are probably streamers that are therapists, but don't think of us as your number one way of getting what's on your mind and on your chest off of your chest and your mind. Go see a therapist. Go find real help. Go see somebody that is going to give you the help that you truly need. Whether you need to be on medication for, those issues. And that's fine. There's no judgment in that stuff. People need those things. They're there for a reason. Or if you just need someone to talk to about your issues and maybe a little bit of advice, or coping skills, go see a therapist. Your favorite Twitch streamer should never be who you see as your therapist, because that's not who they are. I mean, albeit, like I said, I'm always here to help anybody who needs it, but I'm not a therapist, and I'm not going to try to act like I am a therapist. That's not who I am. I never went to college to become a therapist. I have no license for that stuff. I'll probably tell you that I'm sorry that you're going through what you're going through, and that you should seek professional help. That's just the way that it is.
Those who came into the chat looking for help, Joe was there to give them a few encouraging words and push them in the right direction.
I've had not so good thoughts, if you know what I mean, and listening to your advice and others has helped me even during those hard times. If you ever have thoughts, reach out to somebody, genuinely. Go to a therapist, psychiatrist, talk to somebody that can help you. It's not the answer. Like, there's only so much I'm able to do as a creator, especially seeing that I don't know the person. So that's why I try to do the charity streams for, 988 or AFSP or Trevor Project. We're doing reactions today, and it's a charity stream.
That's that right there is actually something that I want to do. If I can ever get to a point where that is something I'm able to do, if I ever find any sort of success doing this, and I have an audience, and people who, like a significant amount of people who enjoy watching me, and I can do this as a career, I want to do lots of charity streams, especially for stuff like, suicide prevention, mental health awareness, men's mental health awareness, all of that stuff, because there are things that aren't talked about enough, and they should be. Mental health matters. How you feel inside of your own head matters more than anything. And not being able to talk about it is a real problem. Believe me, I have that problem. I have a hard time talking about how I feel. And it's something that I'm actively working on. I think that's something that everybody should work on. That stuff is always it's a continuous improvement. There is no just, getting better. You always have to strive to be better. And in the future, that's something that I would really like to do. I would love to be able to partner with these big charities and these big programs that help with these things and raise awareness and raise money for them, because I believe that they do truly good things.
He raised $2,700, which was matched 3x by the Melinda Bill Gates Foundation. So dub in the chat for that. Goes to a good cause, saving lives.
And for a while, this worked pretty well. While it seems kind of small, Joe's brief but encouraging words were actually making a difference in people's lives.
I've been subbed for a year now, and I want to say thank you for helping me through this past year with having to deal with my grandpa's suicide and my own personal problems. You're definitely my favorite top streamer, and I hope you never stop.
But by the time Joe graduated college, things had started to change. His viewer count climbed to some of the highest in all of streaming, and managing the expectation of that many chatters is a totally different beast.
Like right now, I average 10K. Chat's horrible.
Yeah?
Like, yeah. I gotta lock in. I want to get into the videos. I'm starting to get stressed the f*** out. I'm starting to get stressed the f*** out.
Yeah, see, I don't know how that is, and I don't know how a lot of big streamers do it, whether it's Joe Bart, who averages 10 to 20K viewers, or people who like Queso, who average, 60 to over 100,000 viewers. Like, I don't know how they do it, how they can balance that many people. It would stress me out. That's why I've always said that, I would love to find success and to be able to do this as a full-time career, but I would never want to be the top. Obviously, if I made it to the top, I would be forever grateful to everybody who helped me get to that point. But having that many people watching you and wanting to talk to you at one time would stress me the hell out. It would be so bad. But that's a problem for when that problem comes, if it ever comes. Back to it.
I could tell this was going to happen at the start of stream when I got like 9 messages just unloaded onto me.
With this many viewers watching, Joe found himself caught between two groups that wanted completely different things from him. Because on one hand, some viewers felt that he wasn't doing enough to help.
I guess even my favorite streamer doesn't care about me. Lame comment. I have 5,000 people in my stream that are spamming right now. I'm also playing a video game. And then I don't respond to you and you pull this guilt trip here.
But on the other hand, there was a totally different group of viewers that were tired of the stream constantly stopping.
Jesus, dude, I like watching your streams, but when you go on rants like this, that's all you do all the time. That's annoying. Play the game. Do me a favor and never watch me again. Do me a favor and go f*** yourself.
No matter what Joe did.
Oh yeah, I agree. If I ever had somebody, because I'm a yapper, honestly, I think that's something that Joe and I have a lot in common, is that we just like to talk about shit and we like to go on really random tirades about shit. If anybody ever comes into my stream and I'm just yapping about something and they don't like it, they can very kindly see their way out of the stream, because I'm gonna do what I want to do, and that's to talk about whatever it is I'm talking about. And if you have a problem about it, you can just keep it to yourself, or you can leave at that point, because no one's gonna tell me how to do the stream that I'm doing. I'm my own man. I'm gonna do what I want to do. And if you got a problem with that, oh well.
Someone felt ignored, and the messages were starting to get more demanding. Early on, people would briefly mention that they were struggling, and Joe would offer a few words of encouragement. Now they wanted more.
Like every stream, it's been getting more and more and more and more like involved, where people are genuinely asking me to fix their problems. I can't. I'm sorry.
But the hardest part was figuring out who genuinely needed help and who was only looking for attention.
How do you balance keeping everybody happy and then also sorting through people who are just doing it for attention?
I mean, that's the struggle. Because I'm a suicide prevention advocate, that is an avenue that a lot of people use to manipulate their way into being noticed or speaking to me on stream. And so, yeah, if there's 10 chats saying they're suicidal, 6 of them are fake. Because I do so much mental health advocacy, the amount of people that come into my chat and fake being suicidal is absurd. I had one chatter that came in and they say, hey, I'm the mother of so-and-so. He took his own life. I just wanted to let you know you were his favorite streamer. I'm sorry that he took his life. I don't really know what to say. I'm sorry. I hope you're all right. I'm sorry for the loss of your son. Ugh. Come to find out, they come back a month later and they're like, my brother typed that, banned his, blocked him. You're the chatter I knew.
Dude, that's horrible, dude. That is next level like manipulation. That's horrible. That's horrible.
Do that, bro. I'm banning you, man. That's fucking weird as shit.
This leaves Joe stuck making a decision that's difficult to get right.
If I'm being honest, I think a large portion of people that come into my chat and say stuff that's idle are lying. But I have to treat them all as if they're real, because then I could, on an off chance, not take somebody seriously that is serious. And that's the worst thing you could do.
Ignoring the wrong message could have serious consequences, but responding to every message was impossible, and the pressure of trying was beginning to wear him down.
I feel bad, and I've talked about this. It's like, I wish I could help, but like sometimes I can't, you know? Like there's only so much I'm able to do as a creator, especially seeing that I don't know the person.
But there's one message that weighs on Joe the most. It's one that he's heard over and over again, that for some viewers, he's the only reason that they're still alive.
You were there when my dad passed. You saved me from ending my own life more than anyone should. I've realized so much because of you. I can't thank you enough. You unknowingly have helped me with a lot. My life has gotten about a lot better since watching you from your philosophy stuff. Never had a favorite streamer until I watched your streams, and it kind of saved my life, no pressure. I wanted to myself. You saved my life. I did not save your life. You saved your own life. Please get the help you need, though. If I'm the only reason that you stopped, wanting to kill yourself in that moment, you need a lot of help outside of just watching my content.
When you hear some of those stories, how big of a toll does that take on you? Because, like, I don't know, I'm watching through some of their clips, talking to people like this, a lot of the chat is asking, who is checking on Joe?
I'm starting therapy soon. I'm not saying it's bad to have my videos as, like, something to fall back on to make you feel happier, versus, like, I'm suicidal, your videos are the only thing that's keeping me alive.
Take a second and think about what that actually means for the person receiving it.
No, I totally agree with what Joe said there. Like, and I kind of touched on this earlier, that you should never put your entire emotional well-being on one person, and especially a content creator or a friend or a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whoever. And I will admit, like, Joe Bartolozzi, his stuff has helped me a lot recently. Watching him has given me a lot of joy. Would I say that he's the only reason that I'm still going? No, there's a multitude of reasons of why I'm still going. Because I want to live, because life is wonderful. Even when it sucks, life is still wonderful because I get to be here. I have a wonderful 2-year-old daughter who means the absolute world to me, and I cannot allow her to be alone on this world. And because I have people who like to watch me and like the content that I make, and I want to continue to make content for those people because they mean a lot to me too. And there's a million other reasons of why I'm still here. Now, has Joe's videos helped me in ways? Yeah, absolutely. When I'm feeling down, it's a rough day at work, or just a bad day in general, yeah, I'll put on a Joe Bartolozzi video because his stuff helps me, escape from things for a little bit. He's not the reason why I'm still here, and no person like that should ever be the reason why you're still here. You should be here because you want to be here and because you should be here. And if you ever feel like you don't want to be here, please seek professional help.
Somebody just told you that your uploads are load-bearing for their existence.
Don't tell me that. Like, I'm glad I'm able to help, man, but, like, get help. Like, get help. Please.
So what happens if you take a break? What happens if you burn out and quit? On some level, Joe now feels like he has to keep posting, because somewhere out there, somebody's hanging on by his streaming schedule.
There will be people that will, like, come to my chat and they're like, hey, you prevented me from killing myself because I saw one of your videos and it made me laugh. On surface level, that's great. If you're me, now I'm going, oh, if I stop posting, people are gonna start killing themselves.
And beyond the pressure, there's the sheer exposure to darkness. Joe's DMs and chat are a constant stream of people's lowest moments. And when you're surrounded by that much pain for that long, it eventually starts to get in.
That's like the one thing, is the emotional drain, I guess. Like, I put a lot out.
After every stream, Joe sits there for an hour just coming back down from what the job took out of him.
Like, when I'm done stream, I get off, I literally sit there in, like, silence for maybe an hour. I need, like, time to decompress just because that is a lot at times. It takes a toll, and I've gotten used to it, but it kind of builds. Like, I'll be good for a month, and then there'll be a week where I'm just like not there emotionally, I guess. And that's like a problem.
So the obvious question is, why keep doing it? Every other streamer proved you can just let the messages scroll and the career survives. Joe could put up the full wall tomorrow and nobody could really blame him.
I'm not sitting here acting like I'm some role model, but if people are going through stuff and I recognize that they're watching my content to help them, that I want them to have some sort of guidance of redirection to be better themselves and also better their own mental health in a way that's good for them.
Joe did the math and decided helping people is worth what it costs him.
I enjoy making people happy more than the other aspects of the job. And that's what enables me to deal with this too. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, push through the negative because you make money. I think I push through the negative because I can affect people more positively here than any other job that I could possibly be doing.
But once he saw what his platform could do for people at their lowest, walking away from that stopped being an option he could live with.
Thank you. My mom was diagnosed with cancer about 9 months ago.
Sorry to hear that.
We would watch your videos and streams. We loved your philosophy streams. She also majored in philosophy.
Really?
A week ago I found out she has
two more days to live. One of the final things we did was watch one of your YouTube videos. Your videos remind me of good memories. She passed away yesterday and you helped me cope. Just wanted to say thank you so much. You help more than you'll ever know.
Dude, that's emotional. That's rough. You know, and kind of what Joe said, you know, is that he found out he wanted to do this job because he believes that he can help people more in this job than he can in any other job. I resonate with that a lot because, as I've said, I have leaned on a lot of YouTubers and things throughout my life to help me in my dark times. Not, you know, again, not in like a parasocial way where I felt like I had to have them in order to be alive or that they were my only reason for being alive. But when the dark times were there and they were there in full force, those people helped me, whether it was PewDiePie and Markiplier, you know, Smitty, you know, the Vanoss crew, Joe Bartolozzi, any of those guys, any of those creators throughout my 25 years on this planet, you know, and that's something that I want to be able to do. I want someone to be able to just put my video on and watch me and just forget about life for 30 minutes, an hour, you know, however long the video is, even if it's just 15 minutes. Not that I think I'd ever upload that short of a video, but no matter how long the video, I just want them to be able to just kind of turn their brain off and just have a little fun for a bit, you know. And that's why I want to be able to do this, is because I enjoy it and I like helping people. You know, it's a good feeling to help people who need it, you know, give them a little boost to their day.
Oh my God, yo, that's just gonna make me cry. It's a fucking weird job, dude. It's a weird job doing social media. There's a lot of shit, but it's one of the most like rewarding experiences. Just to be able to be someone to help other people is something that I want to do. Yeah, the money's good. Yeah, it's fun to play video games and shit. But like on a deeper level, dude, being able to make people's days is like genuinely what I want to do. And I'm glad that I can.
God, dude. W video by Golf Cart, man. Again, anybody who has not, I've watched a couple of Golf Cart videos now. To anybody who's watching this video who has never checked them out, please do. Golf Cart makes absolute banger videos. Absolute bangers. I mean, look at this. 2.4 million views in 2 weeks of this video, but he only has 177k subscribers. Go give this man a like and a follow. I'm definitely gonna. That's a like for me, dude. His videos are so good. But no, this was a video about Joe Bart. I saw that this got posted. I've been wanting to react to it for a while. And I'm glad that I finally got to sit down and watch it. It was a little bit more of a heavy video than I thought it would be, but Joe talks about a lot of things that need to be talked about, and he's a very caring and kind person. And honestly, I would love to be able to meet Joe one day and, you know, stream with him, that would be an absolute dream come true. He's an amazing human being, and he helps a lot of people, myself included. But that is going to be all for this video. I do appreciate everybody for tuning in to this video. My name is Vex, and I'm out of here. Deuces.